Two exercises I want to talk about: deadlifting and squatting, on how lifting heavy and trying to get to personal best can just wreak havoc long term. And what are the benefits? Do the benefits outweigh the negatives of them, of those two exercises? Or any exercise, even bench pressing with a straight bar, which I have a hard time with. And stay here with me today, please. Stay to the end. I promise you're going to get something out of this when it comes to just the longevity part of of avoiding injury into later ages, into your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, please, and stay with me to the end, like I said. But my idea for myself and for a lot of clients that are older, not just older, but let's say I work with a lot of folks that are in their 40s. My idea is joint sparing, athletic body versus being powerlifters. And this is just going by people that I know that have been bodybuilders a lot of their lives. You know, Arnold being one of them, and in some of the words that he's saying, I'm going to say and repeat, but I see it in real life, where I know people with torn pecs. I know people with microfractured vertebrae, from deadlifting or even squatting, because you put this bar in your back and you got 3 45-pound plates on each side, or 4, and you're just doing your personal best. You're doing it every freaking week or every twice a week. And to me, that's fine. But at some point, you got to look at that. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, I don't want to be injured going into my 60s and 70s and have to go. And I want to be able to get on the floor with my children. I want to be able to play a sport with my children. Got a big basketball family. I want to be able to do that. I mean, might not be able to run up and down a full court, maybe, but like the whole point to me is having athleticism versus having bulkism, where I have to do personal bests. And go if you're doing that, if you want to do that and that's your goal, it's fine. I just want to cover on is it worth it long term? Maybe it's a short term thing, because it was for me. I lifted a lot of heavy squatting. I was constantly straining my back, like pulling a muscle, nothing really bad, but I've seen people do it. Seen people really injure themselves because they're doing it consistently over and over, getting the wraps on their knees, back braces, chest brace for their mid back. And I'm like, wow, if you got to suit your whole body up for that, which is okay. But I like the idea of building muscle through, of course, and building strength time under tension. And there are a lot of scenarios I could take you through on how to, or I don't believe in going to failure. You don't need to go to failure to build muscle. Just time under tension, time that you put your muscle under strain, versus taking everything to failure to where, and that keeps some people, not all, but out of the gym. They feel like they have to go to failure. You don't have to go to failure on each set. Add another set, add a burnout set. For instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'll do leg presses. And let's say I go to the 4 to 7 range of my, let's say 80%, 85% max. That first set, I'll get to 7. I might go to 8. I could, but I don't. I wait 60 seconds, go to the next set, and I might get to 6. I might get to 7, but I don't strain to get to, I don't try to do, failure. I almost get to failure, and then I just let it go, right? And then I get to set 3, and then I go to wait 60 seconds, go to set 3, and I'm barely getting to 5. I'm like straining to get there. There's that tension, and it's a full range of motion, all right, for me. And then I get to set 4, and I'm probably, let's say I get to 5. I might add another set, but the way I do this is I go into my next exercise, waiting about 3 minutes in between that exercise. Let's say it's the deadlift. I know. Deadlift, and I don't deadlift a lot. I haven't really deadlifted over my body weight. People are like, wow, okay, why? Because I don't need to. I know how functional that one exercise is. I don't want a personal best on there. I want the range of motion and time under tension. So I'll do the same thing. 4 sets, rest 60 seconds in between each set, going to 7 only. I could probably blow past certain weight ranges and add more weight on. Sometimes I'll add an extra 10 pounds on certain weeks. But I'll lift through that, right? And then let's say I'm done with my workout. I'll do calves because I like focusing on calves because I got really good calves by focusing on them. Normally I'll do that first so I get them out of the way. But I'll go do my calves. And then when I'm done, my idea is I do 2 exercises that are complete burnouts. We'll do burnout. I call them the burnout sets, whatever you want to call them. I go to the leg extension machine. That's leg extension. And then the second exercise I'll do is the curl machine. I'll do leg curls. So extensions, curls, right? So I'll get there. I'll go to, I say I go to 150. That's my 4 to 7 range for that exercise, 150. And I'll go to get the 7, go to the 7, stop, go down 1 plate, go down to, let's say, I think that's 130. Get to another 7, might go to 8, get the burn, go to 8, boom, done. Or another plate, go right into it. No break in between. I'll do that for 7 sets until that rack is to 20, to 1 plate. And I'll burn that one out to let's say I get to 20 on that one. It is exhausted. Wait 5 minutes and then I'll go to the leg curl machine, right? Same thing and rack them up. Let's say it's 120 pounds for that one. And I just do the exact same thing and I'll get through that whole rack until I'm burned out to the last plate. That has worked out tremendously for not only strength, but my recovery. On that leg day, my next leg day might not be for 4 days. My recovery's there. I get good rest, good protein nutrition for repair. But the idea there is that for me, not lifting heavy all the time like that or focusing on best and lifting super heavy constantly is it's joint sparing. My joints have never felt better ever, right? And I play a lot of tennis. I play a lot of basketball. I have some soreness, but never in my joints, nothing ever. And I'm thankful for that. But I'm telling you, it's from focusing on that type of exercising, not sticking to heavy weights for extended period of time. The following week, for instance, I'll go to sets like 9 to 15. And I'll go lower the weight, but I'll go more reps and I'll add 1 more set, right, onto that leg press, for instance. Instead of 4 sets, I'll do 5 with 1 minute in between. That is the ideal scenario for me for athleticism going into my 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond versus powerlifting. And, I did some of that in my 20s and 30s, but and the ability, it also gives me the ability to burn more fat because I'm athletic and off my body and the fat that's on my body and the fat that I consume. So I can consume a lot more calories, than what normal people do by focusing on athleticism versus focusing on personal best powerlifting. Now, there's a couple of times a year where I'll go or do my max. I'll see what my max is, but I'll go with somebody and making sure that I got a good spotter, and I'll max out my deadlift. I'll max out not a squat, but a leg press. I don't squat anymore at all. If I squat, I will squat with dumbbells or kettlebells on my shoulder, and I'll do a squat that way. I don't like putting the bar on my back anymore in 50. I stopped doing that at about my early 40, about 42, I stopped doing that. I just want to point this out and how important it is to just focus on building strength and endurance through athleticism, and maybe not so much focusing on lifting super heavy all the time. You can build muscle with high amounts of reps and sets versus high amounts of weight. Yeah, you can move that up and switch weeks in and out. You should progress that progression, that overload on some weeks where you lift heavier, lower amount of reps can be detrimental to building muscle because you stimulate the muscle in a different way. You're lifting heavier, But it's all about that time you take in between each set, not 5 minutes between each set, but you lower it from 2 minutes to a minute and a half to a minute between each set, and getting that muscle, that time under tension for each one of those workout, which again, joint sparing, more focused on more athleticism than anything, than over bulking. But some of us want to really bulk. But I'm telling you, as you get into your 40s, 50s, 60s, beyond, idea is this. Later, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your workouts you do that you feel are the best, or what your personal best are. If you're still squatting, if you're still deadlifting, and how important deadlifting is for you. I've got a complete workout plan for deadlifts and how they can change the way your whole body chemistry is made up, and how important that is. But I'll talk to you soon. Later.